Hello, I am Martina Okafor and I represent Fatmy Holdings. Today I am at Izumo Green, a dispensary and a whiskey bar. And I am sitting here with their marketing director. Could you please introduce yourself?
Hello, I am Meilani. I'm Vice President of Sales and Marketing here at Izumo Green. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you for having us too.
Yeah.
So firstly, I want to ask you, how did you get started into the whiskey industry?
So me personally, my uncles in Hawaii owned some bars. So I would open bars there with them when I was younger. And so I always saw whiskey, but obviously never tried it at the time. And then when I moved to Japan, I started opening some nightclubs and got introduced to Japanese whiskey and other Scotch and whiskeys. Yeah.
Wow. Do you have any preferences in the whiskey that you like?
I mean, yes.
What are they?
Well, I love Yamazaki for sure, hands down. That's my number one. And then Macallan 18.
Ooh.
Yeah, those are my two favorites for sure.
Why? Why are they your favorite? Do you know?
Well, Yamazaki, you can drink it, like obviously you drink it neat or on the rocks or however you prefer, but it's just, it never lets me down. I know that it's always going to like fulfill all of my satisfactions and taste buds. Like it has that palate that I love. And then the Macallan 18, actually, my girlfriend introduced me to it and we were at her birthday party on a yacht, and so that was the first time I had it.
Wow.
It was so delicious. So it's been my favorite ever since.
Wow.
It's not like I go and order it often, but I do prefer those two.
That's interesting. What are your favorite Scotch brands? Scotch whiskeys.
So Scotch whiskeys, I mean, obviously Macallan, and Glenlivet has always been a favorite of mine.
Oh,
I worked on the airlines, and when I would work first class, we would serve Glenlivet. Yeah.
Wow. Why Glenlivet?
It was just very prestigious. I mean, this is like back in 2006, so it was really one of the top, popular, I guess.
Why do you think people liked it so much?
It's just tastes
The taste.
really rich,
Right?
Yeah.
How do you perceive Scotch as a luxury item?
Most people know the difference between Scotch and whiskey, right? Or bourbon and things like that.
Right.
But Scotch is so unique, and also for me it's luxurious because Japanese whiskey actually is made with some of the methods that Scotch is made with. So it's like the same procedure.
Right.
So it's really, when you have that and that attention to detail and the way that you're creating, it's more just, puts more love and it makes it more high end.
Would you consider Japanese whiskey high end as well?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Because of the process?
Yeah, well, yeah, because of the process. And in Japan, we have 4 seasons, very actual seasons. So that adds to aging of the whiskey. So it either speeds it up or slows it down, but all of it is, it's almost perfected by the seasons that we have there.
Do you guys plan to open another bar?
So this is our first music lounge, music bar and lounge.
Congrats.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean in Thailand.
Okay.
But yeah, it's the first Izumo Green, so we're really proud of it. It's very, high-end, luxurious. If we do open, I would love to open something on one of the islands or something more that's more open air, outdoor, and give the same type of intimate feeling, but outside. Yeah.
You mentioned that this is the first bar. Is there a bar in Japan as well?
No, there's not. I mean, I've opened a lot of different bars in Japan, but as far as Izumo Green goes, this is the first one in the world. And Izumo is actually named after a shrine in Japan. So it's the oldest and largest shrine in Japan.
Wow.
Yeah.
How come you guys named your dispensary/bar over a shrine?
Because in front of the shrine, there's this giant rope that's made out of shimenawa. It's called shimenawa. It's made out of actual cannabis hemp. So yeah, it's the largest. It's about 80 meters.
Wow.
It's the largest one in the world. And so we really feel connected to our culture, and that, cannabis has been a long, strong plant for us in many different ways and industries, whether it be clothing. As far as the shrine goes, the Izumo Taisha, it's just protection for where we believe that the gods of Japan have landed.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Do you have like a whiskey that your customers ask for, but you don't have it on your shelf?
Yeah, I would say Glenlivet. We don't have.
Oh, okay, yeah, makes sense.
And I'm like waiting for it. It's not here.
Will you bottle a whiskey specifically for your bar?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I've never thought about it until you brought that question to me. But yeah, I think it would be really cool to do that.
When do you think you would start doing that? You know, you could always talk to me. We have a service where we could let you like invest in whiskey cask and you can bottle your whiskey.
Okay, so tomorrow?
Sure, yeah, I can send you all the details.
That's awesome that you guys have that service. I would love to do that.
Do you know what sets apart single malt whiskey with blended Scotch whiskey?
So obviously single malt is just, it has a stronger aroma. It's more intense. With blended whiskey, you can kind of get like whatever, you know what I mean? So I prefer single malt, but I do like blended also. Is there any like specific brand you like from single malt whiskey? Yamazaki.
I knew you would say that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have the same answers. I'm very loyal.
Oh, you are. Do you have like other preferences though?
I don't mind trying. Like, to be honest, like these are all like obviously very well known whiskeys and scotches that we have here, but I do not mind trying like other different from different countries and things like that. I'm always willing to try. I love whiskey.
Right. Yeah. How do you like source your bottles? Because you have a very impressive collection.
Well, it's been very challenging, especially in Thailand. So it took us about like 8 months to get all of these. It wasn't easy. It's not like it happened overnight. So we were looking specifically for these brands, and then they would come in slowly. Like a lot of the vendors are either sold out. It's on their menu list, but they're sold out or they can't get it. So, and importing into Thailand is it's a little bit stressful. So, yeah,
I've noticed that your store has like the same preference of whiskey, right?
Yeah.
Is there like a concept behind that?
We know what our clientele likes. Yeah. So, and they usually know what they like, and we want to be able to have that for them. So if they come in and we don't have it, it's kind of like, oh, we better get that. You know what I mean? It's not just around, like people that come in here are usually like, they come in here for the experience. So we want to be able to provide that for them, whether it be whiskey or any other like spirit.
Right. Does your customers know what make their whiskey perfect or like their favorite whiskey?
Yeah, I'm sure they do. Like I haven't really like delved into it with them, but I'm sure they do. They're pretty experienced. They know what they want.
Do you talk to them in regards to your whiskey collection as well?
Yeah, actually a lot of them suggest that we should get other like different bottles. Yeah, so they always have another suggestion for us. Yeah, so it's really interesting.
Your customers, because I've noticed outside your store, it really shows that it's more of a dispensary. So the customers that comes in here, do you think that they came in for the weed or your whiskey?
So actually we kind of target like different demographics, and we want to keep this area, our music bar and lounge, more of like a speakeasy kind of feel, more intimate. So whether they walk in through the back door or the front door, they're coming in for the experience and to enjoy. Definitely we have a lot of whiskey drinkers. On Wednesdays we have a specific night for whiskey and cigars. It's called Capone. So you can get different specials on cigars and whiskeys, and we have connoisseurs coming in and explaining different like pairings, and so it's a really great event that we started about 2 months ago.
How do you stay up to date into like the news on whiskey or whiskey production or whiskey investment?
Well, I usually call Tina. I usually call you and see what's happening, see what I gotta get and what direction I should go, and any advice I need. So yeah, I would say just talk to you.
Sounds good. That's me. You know, like there are obviously a lot of innovations, correct, in the whiskey world. And are you interested specifically in any new innovations that the whiskey industry should have? Let's say the way that they make the whiskey making processes, or whiskey investments. So what do you think would be a perfect innovation for the whiskey industry?
I'm sure there's a lot of events already based on whiskey, there are. Yeah. So I would go with that. Yeah. And just like how they make it, the process, especially like in Thailand or in Southeast Asia where we are, because I don't really know, like everything's imported, right? Yeah. So I'd like to see like their take on whiskey and how they feel about it.
Have you heard about any returns that people are making from investing in whiskey?
Recently, like I've heard a lot, like purchasing the bottles and then selling has been really, the margins are really high. But yeah, that's the only news that I know of.
Are you interested into like doing that, collecting whiskey for investments and not just for drinking?
I think it's a great idea, actually. Yeah, to collect it for investments, absolutely. Yeah.
Are you gonna get into it at some point?
Yeah, I mean, if they can make more Japanese whiskey, you know what I mean?
Just Japanese whiskey, that's
no. It's just, you know, that hits home, so.
I understand. So what are the rarest and the most sought after whiskeys worldwide?
Ooh, I would, I don't know, like, Jay-Z and Beyonce like kind of rapped about Yamazaki. So,
did they?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that.
On Drunken Love. So I would go with Yamazaki and I'd have to go with Macallan, like 18 for sure. So
like only what you have tried so far?
Only what have I tried, because that's all I know. Right.
You mentioned how your customers really like the Glenlivet whiskey. Is there like a specific profile that they like, or it's just the brand?
I think it's just, I don't know exactly, but that's just the only one that's been in demand that I haven't actually had. But they'll always go for, you know, Glenfiddich or something different.
Right.
Like, yeah, so but they just really would like to have like a bottle of that, because we're Japanese style. So when a customer comes in and purchases a bottle, we keep it for them. So we have a lot of bottles like up there with different names on that. Yeah, so they can come in and enjoy. Yeah.
Right.
Slowly and enjoy their bottle. So instead of buying like a bottle of something that they don't want, you know, if you know, they're really more interested in buying the entire bottle. That way they can come back and, you know.
Do you also guide your customers on which whiskey would be great for them?
To be honest, they're pretty knowledgeable. I could and I should sometimes, but I let them go for what they know and what they like. I don't really have any inexperienced drinkers that ask for my opinion.
So I understand that everything that you have said, obviously you love Yamazaki whiskey and the owner is Japanese. So I want to know, what is the cultural differences between Japan and Thailand in regards to whiskey? So like, let's say how they consume whiskey, how they see whiskey as a high-end luxurious beverage.
I think that they just consume it as another spirit.
In Thailand?
Yeah, in Thailand. Yeah, they just feel like it's, okay, whiskey soda or whiskey, cola or whatever.
Yes.
And it's not so much of something that they want to sip on, you know, like as opposed to Japan, you want to taste the flavors and really like experience like the process that it's been through. So I don't think that they've had it educated to them that they can have that type of experience with the spirit.
But in Japan, like you only saying this because you've noticed the behavior of your customers?
Absolutely. Well, and in Japan when I'm there also, it's you can have you can have every whiskey you want. You can go into a whiskey bar there, and you can have every scotch and every whiskey that you could ever know. And then you choose by what you want to experience. Like it kind of like transports you there. You know what I mean? It's a feeling and yeah. it's really, really intense, and I think it's like served on a gold platter. You know, that's how it feels.
So how has Japan influenced the demand of whiskey here in Thailand?
Well, Japan has a very strong influence on Thailand in general,
right?
You know, so I think you know, they have a lot of like, I mean, whether it's like sushi or izakaya or ramen shop, they follow Japan a lot.
Right.
Yeah, so hopefully they'll, you know, follow the trend of the whiskey and how we hold it in like really high regard.
I've noticed that you said you're from Hawaii, but you also, whenever we're talking about Japan, you mention we. Yeah, so you like relate to Japanese culture?
Yeah, I'm a little bit Japanese, yeah.
Oh,
I'm like
are you?
I'm like quarter Japanese.
Oh, that's lovely. Oh, that's beautiful.
So I'm
okay.
very connected.
That's great, that's great. So how do you feel about the whiskey industry in Japan as part of a Japanese person? How do you feel? Because like the demand is going higher and higher.
Yeah, like
Japanese
there was a
whiskeys.
time like a few years ago when we didn't have any Yamazaki, and it was like a huge deal. And I was pouring like Chita, which we have here, which is still a great whiskey. But you know, I was pouring that instead of like Yamazaki because we were out, and it was just So there was a very big dry spell, and you could feel how important it was for the culture, like to have, you know, their product on the shelves. Even though it's from Japan and you're in Japan and you're drinking it, it still feels like a foreign experience. You know what I mean? It's really like that significant.
But why do you think Yamazaki, out of all the Japanese whiskey brand, are so sought after by people like worldwide?
Well, it's very pricey.
Yeah.
So
I think it's the branding.
It's for that. Yeah, the branding. Right? It's pricey. It's for the people that have a lot of money.
Yeah, yeah. Like the Macallan.
Yeah. They want that. You know, it's like if you have that bottle, then you're something, or you get to enjoy how that level enjoys.
So basically, it's just how they brand their whiskey,
right?
But would you say it's the taste?
I think it's the taste for me. Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
How would you advise people like me who just started in the whiskey industry?
Oh, I mean, just drink. Drink. You know, like find what you like in anything. You know what I mean? It's the same in anything. Find what you like, and then stick to it. But also be open to tasting other brands, and you know.
Do you want to walk us through your bottles? Any of them?
Yeah, should we just try all of them? No. No. So yeah, I mean, obviously, so this is well, you know these ones. So these are the Japanese ones, but Hakushu is actually recently becoming more popular. I think it was during the dry spell when we didn't have a lot of Yamazaki in Japan being produced. So Hakushu was like the go-to, and it has a really nice flavor. It's really like, you can still taste like the strong like aroma, but it's very, for me, it's a little bit lighter. Okay. Yeah, cool. It's not too tough, but there's the Hakushu. These are the Yamazakis. This is one of our, it's a signature, the Centauri World Whiskey. So this is a blend of all this goodness. Yeah. And then you have the Glen Grant, which I have not tried. And then there's the new one here. Yep.
How did it feel when you acquired that? Because I've heard that it's really well known.
Yeah, well, I mean, to acquire any of these in Thailand is like a great feeling, but this one especially, I don't usually touch this. Only the bartender is allowed to. So wow. he's very protective of these bottles. Dear. But no, so yeah, I mean, that says it all. You know, he's super very happy that we can offer this to our customers. Yes. Yeah, and then of course you have your Macallans. We have another one up there, but I didn't bring that down. Is this the Macallan? Are you just collecting them, or are you serving? No, absolutely. These are for sale, for bottles. Yeah, absolutely. You sell like just a whole bottle? We sell the whole bottle.
Right, got it.
And they don't have to drink the whole bottle.
Right.
They can come back anytime. It can be tomorrow or in a week or in 6 months or in a year, and it's there waiting for them. Yeah,
it's a lovely concept. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Arigatou gozaimasu.